All right, greetings everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. It is day 64 of my challenge. Hope you all are doing well. Give me 1 second here as I try to repair uh, my things here. All right, yes, it's day 64 of my 90-day challenge. I just got home from the hockey game. And yeah, unfortunately, my team lost against the Ottawa Senators. So my team is the Vancouver Canucks. But as of now, I've been very disconnected with this team. What I don't know what to say. And beginning of February, I guess. I don't remember. It's I guess when as soon as the Quinn Hughes trade happened, I was pretty much I was pretty much disconnected. Didn't even watch the gold medal game for hockey. But yeah, um, today is week number 10 of our 90-day challenge. We are almost done this challenge, so it's been quite a journey. It had its ups and downs, and it's been challenging, right? Not because of the plan itself, but obviously life in general, right? Um, Especially with my eldest son being his birthday month of February. It was just it was kind of an emotional thing for myself. So and yeah, it was a tough month, and just doing my very best now just to just keep going here to the end of this 90 challenge, and once again, do restart another 90-day challenge with those in my community. So all I can do is just you know take one day at a time, and at the same time be kind to myself as much as possible, because at the end it's not just for reaching the end of March, completing this 90-day challenge. It's more to that, right? It's a lot more than just this one 90-day challenge. Welcome in, Jesse. Hope you are doing well. So yeah, it's very important to just realize, you know why is it why do we do this, right? And that's the main thing that you have to realize. Why are we doing, why is it important to us? Why the goals that we set, or um why does it matter, right? So definitely a good example was today. So just before the game, I had to take my son to his one of his final swim class. So this week is his final swim class. So I and this was kind of one of the important one, because this is kind of like the last class before you know uh, the report card, or his swim report is given to him on Wednesdays. So yeah, obviously he had his wondering if he passed, right? And I said, "Did you do your very best?" Right? I did. I did it as my best, and followed the instructor as best as I can, and that's it. That's all. That's all you can hope for, right? If you do things halfway through, then obviously you're gonna have the results as there is, right? So, but it's more than what do you think, son? So, why is it important for you to pass? And then obviously, I try my very best not to guide his answer, but at the same time, you have to go deeper into it. So basically, obviously, it's like the um, this, the point A to point B, right? He he would have thought, okay, well, no, I just, get better, and I will just get to the next level. All right, no, that's good. Obviously, you want to get better, and you want to move on to, the next level, but you got to always realize, and that's why I always, emphasize here on, is that, part of the coaching is that, a lot of goal settings are only, like, set from point A to point B. You gotta look past that and think what point C looks like. So I emphasize, like, if you gain the skill of swimming, that will give you a wonderful life skill, right? Right. So yeah, he agreed with that, right? And I asked him also, when any of your, whether you're with friends, families, or, obviously he's only 12, so, but, if you're with someone special that, you guys are at the beach or at the pool, or, you're swimming with them, wouldn't be, wonderful, to have that skill. If something happens, you have the ability to save someone that's special to you, right? So he totally he agreed with that, right? And obviously, I tried my best not to guide him through, but then at the same time, you want them to look, um, give them, ask them questions to look past, just, the surface level, right? So as myself, from myself example, right? As much as, like, I want to lose weight during this 90-day challenge, I definitely, it means a lot more than just losing the weight. What does losing the weight mean? Well, losing the weight for myself means that, I can be there longer for my children, for my family, right? Losing the weight as well. If ever get to that point, right? And you never know in the future, right? I want to be healthy. I want to be strong for my grandchildren, right? So you gotta look, you gotta think more than just, just reaching a certain goal, right? It's once again, it's an experience, it's a lifestyle, it's that future version of you, and what that future looks like. That is, what you're aiming way past, point B, right? Once again, you always got to realize that your initial, where you are to where you want to be, uh, or hitting that goal is basically based on, your current self, right? And once you hit that point, that, that's just a checkpoint, right? It's just a checkpoint towards something bigger, right? So opportunities open up when you finally realize that you can do it, right? It's pretty amazing and awesome. Like, one of my running friends, last Saturday, uh, attempted her first sample of a triathlon. So it's not a full triathlon. So it's like, it's, little segments of, swimming, a little segment of biking, and then a little segment of running, right? So definitely, once again, it's just that's, introduction into doing a triathlon, and doing the transitions from swimming, switching from swimming to biking, switching from biking to running. So and then once again, training for all three sports, right? So definitely, once again, it's, you just never know, right, what you're capable of doing once you achieve, um as they say, the impossible, right? So it was funny for myself, you know obviously, I was running since 20. I would love to say 2016 when I first started running. 2017 was my very first marathon, and I've been doing a marathon once a year, right? Until the pandemic happened in 2020 that shut down everything. But it was funny, uh, when the pandemic happened in 2020, that was the second time I did a challenge that unfortunately no one was asking for, but I I did for myself, and I did you know seeing what I was what I'm capable of doing. So I did a challenge called Quadzilla, right? And obviously, I was just once again, I was, I thank one of my friends to that held me accountable. But I was just talking with them at Starbucks and just wondering, what, January, February, there's always a race almost every weekend, and we're always, we're training for the marathon. We're already doing these distances already, right? So why can't we just do train this distance at a race, right? So obviously, it's like, it for myself it made sense, and then obviously, you know, um, a few of my friends thought, that's crazy, that's insane, right? Why would you do that, right? And I don't know. I was saying, what? It's we're doing this distance already, so why don't we just, why don't we have fun with it and do a race? I mean, technically we don't have to do it like fast, but at least we're at a big a venue, big event, right? So obviously, heading into it, and then it's like, no, I definitely forgot about it. And but then one of my running friends reminded, remember that time that you said that you're gonna do 4 races in 4 weekends, or 4 half marathons in 4 weekends? I was like, what about that? And obviously, me being, oh yeah, I did say that. Right. So I couldn't back down from that. And obviously, heading into it, a lot of my running friends were just discounting. It's like, why would you do that? Blah blah blah. It's like, that's crazy and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, we're training these distance. My explanation of it is like, we're doing this distance anyways as training, right? I don't have to really do run for a personal best for these races. Maybe just the one race that's important, right? Which is kind of like I think the second one, second out of the four, is pretty important, right? It's kind of like a big test before our actual marathon that happens in May, right? So I did it one race 1 weekend, and then rest and recover as fast as I can. Second race next weekend, and even shorter recovery time, because that one was on I believe on the second one ended on Sunday, and the third one started on a Saturday, so only had like a window of five days to recover for that race. And then yeah, did the fourth one on right after that one, and in four marathons in 4 weeks, or 4 marathons in, I think, in 28 days, I believe, or less. I can't remember. But yeah, it was like an accolade. It was now like those who were saying that, who were just thinking that I was crazy for doing it. Um, a lot of them now like were like, inspired, right? Inspired for what I was able to achieve, right? And it was, once again, it was never that, right? It was just, uh, challenging myself and challenging the limitations that I perceived that that I can't do it, right? So it's just it was that, right? It was challenging, the limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves. That was, why I did it, right? And once again, it's just, it just happens to be just the side effects or the bonus of just, having people feel inspired for what was, that they didn't see in themselves, right? So I was lucky enough that, five, me and four other people, so total of five of us joined in doing that. So three of them only did three races, so three races back to back, and then me and my idol, and she was, I think at that time 73, right? She's very, every almost every year she qualifies for Boston Marathon. She kicked my butt on my second day from training for a marathon, and she's super amazing, and she inspires a lot of us there on at our running club, right? So yeah, that was, she was the only other person that did the Quadzilla with me, right? That was the 2019. So the last 2 weeks of January, the first 2 weeks of February. So she did that with me, plus my other three friends. Did the first three races with us. So yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one who did that, right? So three other people did the triple crown, and then two of us were able to do the quadzilla, right? And it was just, it sort of became a thing, right? And maybe one day I might do it again, just for myself, right? Not nothing else. And yeah, 2020 again, so came around, and it showed up. And at that time, we didn't get into the full blown, start closing down, everyone stay home, right? Of the pandemic, the COVID, right? So I was able to do a second time of the Quadzilla, and yeah, I mean there was no takers, but um, I did it for myself, and then at that time as well, I was teaching or leading run clubs for people who running for the first time, right? So that's what that's what I did for my crew, that those people who were learning to run their first 5K with me. So yeah, definitely, it was very wonderful to inspire them if on that journey. So but yeah, my idol was, her name was Agnes, and yeah, when we first met, and that was my second day of learning, training for my very first marathon. She was 70, and I could not catch up to her. It was, she was, and then people say, "Oh, when she's 70, so she's been training for that long." Well, actually, she started training when she was 60, right? So yeah, it was wonderful that I got to meet her. She inspires me. She helps me keep going each day. When I was training, and definitely helped me on a couple of my marathons when I was struggling, and she helped me push to the finish line on one of my marathons. So very it was wonderful to you know have her in my life to just definitely motivate me and keep going, as she has inspired a lot of people. So that's the thing, it's more than just reaching a goal, right? It is, what can that goal provide you, in the long run into the future, right? So it was, wonderful to see that, you know, having that, that mindset and sharing that mindset to my son, definitely, realize that, there's more to it than just, you know, reaching a letter grade. Is There's more to it than just passing, because this may be a life skill or achievement that may change the course of your future, right? And may at the same time may help a lot of other people, uh, in the future, whether it's people that you care about or people you have not met yet, right? Investing in yourself and your overall, future, is very important, right? And it's to those that who are able to accomplish more and do more. Um, they're creating that legacy, right? And once again, uh, I'm looking forward to sharing this on my 3-day workshop that's coming in March here, on March 23rd, right? So March 23, 24, 25th. So uh, on the 23rd, I'll be doing sharing about the 90-day challenge that's happening in April, right? So there's still a long ways to go. So even though I'm doing the 3-day workshop on the 23rd, the actual 90-day challenge will happen on the 6th, right? So that leaves 2 weeks. So I'm sharing the first 2 weeks ahead of time, so you guys have a head start and have an idea if it's gonna make a difference. So through that, it's gonna create that foundation. Usually, you're making 5 days, but you have 7 weeks foundation, right? And we're doing something just simple enough to do, but all at the same time is gonna be pivotal in helping you, create a new habit in your nutrition, in your health. So in day 2, we'll talk about your core values. So this was going to be your helping you mold your identity, and this is going to importantly help you filter through all the decisions that you have to make on a daily basis. So on Google, right? The average person deals with 35,000 decisions every single day, whether it's conscious or subconscious. They go through a whole lot of decisions. Some may be big, some may be just simple, but you're making a choice every day whether to turn left, turn right, walk down the stairs, go do that, pick up this, drop that, we're making a lot of decisions every single day, right? And having your core values, having that identity, right, will help you filter through that and realize what is true, down to the core, down to the essence, what is truly important to you, not just now but into the future. So that is what I'm going to be sharing on day 2. And then day 3, obviously, now we talk about goals, and we talk about goals on steroids, right? So basically, we go through 3 sets of questions, and through those questions, uh we want to set up goals, how you're going to achieve them. And once again, as we were starting this thing, we're gonna even look past these goals, basically goals that are not achievable. And while what's the point of doing that? Well, you'll find out, right? Because once again, there's stuff for yourself. At the same time, there's stuff that you do that may affect others, right? And that's the stuff that that will help drive you even further. So this is gonna help us once again. This is gonna help amplify your experience through the 9-day challenge, and and at the same time, when the going gets tough, right, and you feel like quitting, you just gotta realize you're almost there to the summit, right? And just letting you guys know, it's a 9-day challenge. It spans for 3 months. There is gonna be a lot of room for you guys to, you know, get challenged by life, right? And knowing that this is gonna happen, and knowing that that because of that, that moment where you're gonna challenge, you are closer to your goal. And that's has happened to me on my first 2014, when I was wanting to get healthy once again for my family, right? I was in the worship of my life in 2013. My blood works and my general checkup came at a negative negative results. I just found a lot of things about myself, right? That 2014, I tried the program called 21 Day Fix, and day 4, right, I was about to give up, right? And it's like, you know what? I'm already almost, I'm almost 1 week in, and there's only 2 more weeks left, right? And my body was sore from the workouts. I the food plan that was portion control, that was its trademark for the 21-day fix, right, was it just felt like I was not going to survive on that amount of food, or lack amount of food, right? But okay, it's 21 days. What, I'm almost there. So from that point, I think I lost about 16 to 18 pounds. I have to look through. We're talking about something that happened way back in 2014, almost 12 years ago, right? But that one decision just created a domino effect that I can't I can't replace. It just created a new chapter in my life that has, you know, has made me meet wonderful friends and family, has made me, appreciate, my body even more, has made me, uh, and not a choice of my own, but it has inspired a lot of people on that journey to just not only just believe in themselves, but just try, right? And that's all we can do, is just try, and give it our best shot at our current self, right? And that just creates a baseline. So that one choice I believe on a Thursday, I think back in November or October. I think it was November, because I did the challenge like 3 times back to back. So November, December, with all the Christmas party, I was still able to lose like just under 10 pounds, right? So at that time, I was 190 before I started this. But that one, you just imagine what one choice can do, right? One choice can set off something that can be true, a domino of just 1 inch, and then the next one is 1 inch uh bigger, and next one after that is you know half the size bigger and half the size bigger. One down can create a cascading momentous momentum that that may one day be bigger than you, right? And you're just there as the as key person or figurehead to just inspire others, while everyone's doing their goals for themselves, but you're the one who started that movement, that started that trend. So not saying that that was something that happened to me, but at the same time, sharing my journey, you just never know who's watching in the background, who's lurking, right? And once again, I had people come out of nowhere, just message me and DMing me, saying thank you for sharing your story. Thank you. I've made changes in my life. I you know before I would just stay home, but I'm out there walking, and so that's the thing. I do these videos. Once again, for myself, to keep myself accountable, right? I'm just an everyday person just like you, who's human, who goes through challenges, who has to go through choices, but at the same time, you know going through those challenges, i i I still look at the light at the end of the tunnel. I look at beyond the challenge, and knowing that, you know, once again, having my core values, having, my experiences that I want to achieve, I can look past these challenges, and at the same time, my faith in him, like, I realize that, there's just more to life than just, these challenges that are just in front of me. Once again, challenges are meant to be overcome. Now, once again, very important, the words that you use, right? So if you're, you know, um, two words can mean the same thing, but one has a longer impactful impact in stopping where you are, and another has an impact to just keep moving forward. So once again, challenge, right, and failure can mean the same thing, but you know, is meant to be overcome. Failure means I wasn't good enough, right? I tried my best and it didn't happen for me, so I'll never try again. Right? That has been for a lot of people, and it has held a lot of people back from one experience, right? Can create a lasting that all things of this one experience are the same, that are equal, and truly, they are not, right? Because one failure, right, if that's the word that you use, has created that negative and impossible obstacle to overcome, right? Then when these things come up, these so-called opportunities that have come back in the future, is, oh no, I did it, I tried it, and I wasn't good. So you know what? Because I love you and I'm your friend, you shouldn't do that. right? So that one experience not only just affected you, now it's affecting the others. And once again, um, no two people are the same. No two challenges are the same, right? And some a bad movie could, for you may be something that's funny for someone else, right? A bad experience at this particular grocery store may be a wonderful, experience for someone else, and so forth, and so forth. So, but this is the time now that you're uh, because of the negative experience or the doom and gloom, we're pulling people down to to our our level, or pulling them down to not experiencing growth, right? So very, once again, it's very important to be careful of the words you use. At the same time, it's very important as well to always have that vision, and cultivating that vision for the future. Because once again, we don't have to have all the answers and know the direction, by detail, where need to go, right? But once again, we trigger those signals in our brains to once again our the only signals our brains can or our body can give us is just those hunches, those intuition, those gut feelings. When you're asking yourself the question, right? Our bodies, our minds is once again working in the background to spot these things for you, right? You may be focusing down the road, right? But obviously, your body is taking care of the peripheral, signaling things that, okay, the dangers ahead, the opportunities ahead, right? They're collecting all this information to just, let us perceive things that may protect us, but at the same time, um, provide us the opportunity, right? Whether it's someone getting closer to the line, so will trigger us to, okay, this person might do a lane change, right? So I either stay away from this person or get ahead of it before you know he decides to make that lane change, right? So in the office, obviously, you're looking for, uh, say you need to go to the gas station. So obviously, your mind has picked up all of those informations around us in the past to say, remind you of those logos, those words that mean gas, whether it's uh, Petron or Chevron, Esso, you name it, right? We see those signs, we see those color schemes, right? Okay, uh, our destination is near. And that's the thing, that's why, we continue to have those, not only just reaching our goals, but what it really means to reach our goals, right? So our bodies will look for, and that's, and we amplify those experiences with our feelings, our our those that are is important to us. Our body, our mind is going to cultivate, you know a way towards that. And once again, take care of our bodies, we give it the best shot it has, it's gonna do its very best to communicate us. We create that connection with our body, especially once again, we treat our consciousness as the driver, but our body is the vehicle. So if you can separate the two, right, and provide the body the nutrients it needs, especially during this 90-day challenge, then you're gonna have strengthened that communication with it, and it's gonna provide you once again that intuition, that gut feeling, you know, to uh, pull things at your peripheral into focus. And now it's really up to you to make that decision and take action, right? So once again, we go through 35,000 different decisions each day, right? Uh, some of those things will be, once again, if 8 out of 10 times your gut feeling, your intuition is correct, I'd rather take those odds. And those two that, didn't go your way, right? They're not failure. They're life lessons, they're challenges that are meant to be overcome. So, hope that has been helpful for you. Once again, it definitely has led me to just keep going each and every day. Whether it's my journey started in my 20s, and in 2000 or 2001, and it's still, once again, it's still going, right? It is a life, and it's gonna go in the next 10 to 20 or so years, right? It's a lifelong journey. We never reach the end of our growth, our, every everything is a new baseline. And when we're improving ourselves, we're gaining new skills, right? We're upgrading, ourselves. We're upgrading, our resonance, right? We're reaching higher vibrations, and those that are at higher frequencies, they tend to attract, right? So it's not enough to just have the law of attraction, right? It's a great start to, once again, it's a great start to build that vision for the future, and putting your emotions, your feelings, your energy towards that. But at the same time, we need to continue to improve ourselves and take that action to improve on ourselves, so that those things that that we put our energy towards become a lot easier to attract into our lives. So once again, we're not um, we're great at manifesting things, right? We're just really bad at accepting them, right? And it's just because once again, past experiences or past selves have got in the way of uh, our current selves, right? And um, once again, we if we live a life and continue to become more, right? And we're letting the past dictate our future. We're living our past into the future. And once again, things change over time, and you change over time, right? So your past does not equal your future. Your past equals where you are. What you decide to do today will definitely, guide you to your future. And definitely, once again, I thank myself who made that decision back in 2014, right? Though, once again, though things have changed from the pandemic and last year, but once again, there is still life worth living for when you have those visions, you have, your point C to continue to guide you through, through the darkness, through the challenges. And, even though sometimes you fall, right? And um, you fall 6 times, you rise up 7 times, as you've heard that saying goes. So you just continue to rise up and just keep going, right? And life is gonna challenge you. There's never gonna be a straight path. There's always gonna be detours and obstacles along the way, right? And once again, those obstacles just refines you and make you better, make you stronger, and just keep going. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. And once again, you have to realize why is it truly important to you, right? It's not just hitting that goal and you're done. It's like it's past that. All right, so feel free to like or give this video the thumbs up. This is being streamed on 3 different platforms, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Feel free to scan that QR code that leads to my website, which is coachRyanJ.com, to once again to stay updated, and hopefully once again you guys can join me on this challenge that's coming up in April. But once again, there will be a 3-day workshop just to go over that challenge, and 2 bonus other workshops that will help, provide you that identity and help amplify, your why, that point C once again, to get you through the 90-day challenge. As once again, you'll get challenged. That's just life. Now it's just up to us to, you know use that as a learning experience, and definitely not let that become something, a stopping block for us. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all of you, and once thank you so much for my members on Twitch. Once again, I hope to connect with you guys on the next stream. Once again, I wanted to be with you guys, but yeah, once again, I had these tickets many months ago, uh, planned in advance. So it's done, and I'm needing to get some rest here as I have work in 5 hours. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, and as always, continue to raise your environment so that you can once again raise yourself, and once again be that impact for your environment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your own community. So you never know what people are going through, but act of kindness can go a long way in igniting that a flame within someone, that they are seen, that they are heard, and that they matter, right? So you can be that catalyst, even though that isn't a plan, but you just never know. Your your the words that you choose can inspire someone, even it's just saying hi, and you can make a difference for someone. Thank you so much. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening, and once again, have a wonderful week ahead. I hope to see you once again on the next stream. Take good care.